Leaked messages show that we're going to be getting Logan Paul versus Floyd Mayweather 2. Hey guys, how's life and welcome back to the channel. Now today, new leaked messages on the internet suggest that Logan Paul and Floyd Mayweather are going to be fighting for a second time. Now the first fight between Logan and Floyd was a real spectacle. Though a lot of people wrote it off, a lot of people were saying this is just for money, which it is by the way. Don't get me wrong, Floyd Mayweather is begging for the money. I'd say Logan's in it 50-50. Apparently Logan still hasn't been paid for that first fight from Floyd, which is really bad. I don't know how, it happens quite a lot in America. I swear you've got a contract. Why are people not paying? It's mad. That first fight was a real spectacle. I watched it superb. Ever since the KSI Logan Paul 2 fight, Logan has grown in character, grown in maturity, and has been a really funny entertainer. You can tell he's really grown up since the incident in Japan. It really matured him, and he's such a likable guy. One of the most likable guys on the internet. Obviously, KSI and Logan Paul now got their own drinks company, Prime. I think that makes a lot of us UK fans, a lot of us KSI fans, really sort of warm to Logan. I'm a big fan of his podcast as well. Just a superb entertainer who really gets YouTube. That first fight in principle probably offended a lot of the die-hard boxing fans, and I do understand that. KSI and Logan were well matched. Really, after two fights, you couldn't really separate them at all. KSI slightly edging the second fight. Sort of the same weight, same sort of age. Both YouTubers, both their first professional fight. It really did make sense. I'm sure they made a lot of money. Eddie Hearn would confirm that. That was probably the best thing on the internet that's happened in the last 5 years, if you think about what a spectacle it was. UK versus US. People have been trying to replicate that ever since. That's not really happened. By the way, guys, if you are enjoying the content, make sure to smash subscribe really quickly. Go on. There's loads and loads of content that come in your way. You don't want to miss out. You don't want to miss a video. Smash subscribe. Drop a like if you're enjoying. Let's carry on. So that first fight between Floyd and Logan was mental, wasn't it? It was almost David versus Goliath, but reversed. Because obviously Logan's got the weight, he's got the height, he's got the reach. But Floyd's got all the experience. What's he, 50-0? No head guards, which made it really interesting. And what a display Logan Paul put out, by the way. It's almost embarrassing for Floyd Mayweather, and I can understand why die-hard boxing fans would probably be a bit embarrassed for Floyd. But we know that Floyd isn't the most likable character. All he cares about is his money. He seems to spend it like it's going out of fashion. It's ridiculous. He's going to be fighting until he's like 50, 60 doing these exhibitions. Which I expect he doesn't mind, because it's not exactly a lot of hard work for him, is it? But the only thing that worries me is I'm thinking one day, Floyd's going to take one fight too many and someone's going to beat him. For me, it's a real shame that this Logan and Floyd has to be sort of exhibition just because of the weight categories. I think it'd be so much better and better for an audience if they could just fight and go at it. Obviously, no head guards is a plus, but there's no point scoring. There's no real winners unless someone's going to get knocked out, which I highly doubt it. Floyd's not got the power to knock Logan out, and Logan's probably not going to catch Floyd flush on the head. I don't think there was an awful lot of interest in that first fight, to be honest with you, at the time. I think people sort of bought it because it was a spectacle. I'm not sure people would buy a second fight, you know. But you couldn't blame Logan Paul for accepting the fight, and whoever's organising will probably put a lot of money on the line straight away, so he doesn't need to worry about getting paid again. Me, I started off as a KSI fan, probably like a lot of the UK viewers, and because of how well Logan's grown, sort of break into that audience. The only thing about these leaked messages is it seemed to suggest that Logan was obviously still upset that he hadn't been paid from the first fight, and someone was sort of suggesting that Jake Paul should perhaps take that fight. I wouldn't mind seeing that, and potentially, because Jake weighs a lot less than Logan, maybe Floyd and Jake could get sort of close to each other so it wouldn't have to be an exhibition. I think that's the real letdown for me, is that there's not necessarily going to be a winner or loser unless someone gets knocked out. Probably highly unlikely. I mean, there were suggestions in the first fight that Floyd was actually trying to stop Logan from getting knocked out. Do we really need a sequel to that first fight? Personally, for me, if I had to sort of choose, I'd say no. I prefer Jake Paul to go and fight Floyd. I sort of think Floyd should just fully retire. He's just chasing his money. He's trying to get any influencer to box him, and it's quite embarrassing for him, really. I prefer Logan to fight another influencer. I mean, Logan Paul, Jake Paul would be an unbelievable spectacle, wouldn't it? But Jake seems to be punching a lot higher than that. Jake Paul perhaps fighting Conor McGregor, that would be unbelievable, because Conor McGregor isn't as good at boxing as Floyd is. Obviously, Conor McGregor is still superb. Lost his last few fights in the MMA. I'd be really interested to see that Jake Paul Conor McGregor fight. I think that could be one of the biggest pay-per-views ever if it happened. If you think about McGregor's Paul and the audience they could get to bring together, they can make a hell of a lot of money. That's the fight. That is the pinnacle for me, this YouTube boxing. I can't believe it's gone on this long, to be honest with you. Elsewhere, we've got a sort of Deji trying to make his comeback against Callux Wasabi. He looks like he's taking his training seriously. He's broke up with his toxic ex-girlfriend. There's some videos on my channel about her. If you guys want to check that out after this video, remember to subscribe. I'd have to back Deji. I mean, we've said it the last 2 times, but from the videos he's released on his YouTube channel, he seems to at least be in shape. And the thing with Deji is he's got the ability, but he was always sort of gassing out too early. If he's got the cardio, he's already got the ability. Callux Wasabi isn't exactly a hard opponent. if Deji loses again, he needs to just stop. He's stop boxing. I'm hoping we get to see Anissa Gibb versus Austin Mcbroom on that card as well. Austin Mcbroom has sort of teased fans on Instagram, showing that he's training again, and that an announcement could be soon. I know KSI was talking about boxing Austin, but for me, Austin just needs to win another fight because Bryce Hall was terrible, wasn't he? But yeah, it's really interesting to see if we do get this Logan Floyd thing this year. It's not really necessary, but I suppose once Logan's boxed Floyd, who's the next step up? Bigger than that. There's only sort of 2 fights, Conor McGregor and Jake Paul, that would be bigger than that, or a KSI third fight, but I don't think that's going to happen now that they've got their prime. Yeah guys, just a quick one to show you the leaked messages and sort of my thoughts on the recent YouTube boxing updates. Let me know your opinions in the comments down below. I love to hear from you guys. If you've watched this far and haven't hit that subscribe button, come on mate, what are you doing? It's absolutely free, no charge at all, loads of content, you don't want to miss out. Smash subscribe, drop a like, and I'll see you next time.